Hey folks, George Cabezas here, your friendly neighborhood realtor with Kai's Real Estate. I work the South Florida area. Now today we're not going to talk about real estate. A lot of people have told me that they want to know how I make my paellas. They like the way they taste, and is it difficult? Is it not difficult? I'm going to tell you this, it's very easy to make, and I'm going to show you the steps, all right? One of the things you have to take in mind when making a paella is the vessel. The vessel has to be wide and flat. That's really what the paella is. This is an iron skillet. I don't have a paella vessel because I gave it away, but I don't need that because I can make a perfectly good paella in this vessel. Cut. Hey folks, okay, we're back. I already spoke about the pan. We have it heating up. Being that it's an iron skillet, it takes longer to heat up than a regular paella pan. So I have it heating up for about 10 minutes before I throw in the chicken. I'm gonna throw in the chicken. I'm gonna show you what ingredients we're gonna use, okay? Cameraman, we're gonna focus on the chicken, which is what I'm gonna throw in first. I have legs and thighs. Whatever you do, don't use breast because breast tends to dry up too much and you don't want dried chicken on your paella. So use the legs and thighs, and you may not see that, but I'm using it with the skin on. Why? Because that skin gives the flavor that we're gonna use. We're gonna take advantage of that flavor to cook the other things, like the onions. I have here Spanish chorizo. Okay, if you don't use for your paella, always use Spanish chorizo. It's the best. That's more recommendable. I'll show you how to cook that in a little while. We have the onions, calamari or squid, mussels. Okay, buy them fresh. Shrimp. This is saffron, world's most expensive spice. Okay, you want to dice some tomatoes. In this case, I bought a can. This cost me 59 cents. It was actually cheaper than the tomatoes, and they're already diced and flavored. My secret right here is minced clams with the juice. We're gonna take advantage of the flavor of the juice that's gonna flavor our paella. Garlic, you want to buy a good chicken broth, or you can make it your own. And you know something, if you have your shrimp that's not peeled yet, put it in a pot with the chicken broth and it'll flavor the paella. Okay, also if you want to use some other seafood to flavor the paella, that's good. You throw some of this in there. Okay, olive oil, salt, pepper. We're gonna use some lemons. That flavors the paella once it's made and you're eating it. And we're also gonna decorate it with it. This is my brother's beautiful rosemary. And this thing is so beautiful. I'm gonna show you real quick. If you come over here, cameraman, look at this rosemary. Look how beautiful this thing is. My brother grew this. He's got a green thumb. I mean, that kid, he knows how to do everything. He's the cameraman, by the way.
Hey, guys.
Fred. That's Fred. I mentioned the olive oil. Now, this is my secret ingredient. Vigo Authentic Paella Valencia. Okay. The rice you have to use is a short grain rice. You could use bomba or Valencia rice, but it's usually hard to get. And this kit right here brings your rice, short grain rice, but inside it brings this can. It's got seafood and other flavoring, including saffron. So you could save your money on this because this already has it in there. Okay, this alone makes the easiest paella you can ever make. Follow the instructions. Buy some seafood, Chorizo, if you want to add it, that's optional. Chicken, that's optional. But you know, buy your seafood, a little wine, good wine. We're gonna use about a cup of this when we're cooking the chicken, okay? And to decorate it at the end, we're gonna use parsley, okay? This right here is my brother's. It's a little salt, okay? I already seasoned the chicken, the shrimp with 3 things. Salt, pepper, let's zoom in into that chicken. Salt, pepper, Italian seasoning. It's good stuff, right? And look at this right here. So we're gonna come back when we're cooking the chicken. I'm gonna make sure that iron skillet is hot so I could cook in the chicken, all right? We're gonna cut and then we're gonna come back when I oil the iron skillet and start roasting the chicken. Okay folks, we're back. We're gonna cook the chicken. My iron skillet got really hot, so I'm gonna use some vegetable oil because it's got a higher smoking point, all right? And I'm gonna spread it out with the spatula. All right. So I'm spreading it out. And now we're gonna put in the chicken thighs right here. And then we're gonna put in the legs. See, you need a nice big pan. You hear that sizzling? That's what you want to hear. Skin side down first, folks. All right, and now we're gonna put in the legs. Those beautiful legs. I'm a leg man. Not necessarily the chicken, but you know what I mean. You gotta have fun with your cooking, folks. You know, you can't be cooking all sad and mad and you know, you gotta have fun. There's another ingredient I forgot to mention, which I'm gonna mention right now. It's called love. You gotta put love into what you do. I love real estate. I love to cook. Those are my 2 favorite things. So we're gonna let this roast for a little while. I'm gonna have a little vino. Gotta cook and drink and listen to some good music. Sometimes I like to put some Spanish music, some flamenco when I'm cooking. When I'm cooking Italian, I'll put a little Italian music, you know, some Dino. Volare, oh, cantare, oh. Don't judge me on my singing, okay? All right, we're gonna come back when I have to flip the chicken, and we'll cut. All right, folks, I'm gonna turn the chicken because the one side's already done. See, it releases. See how like if it was non-stick. All right. See, you want the crispy skin. Crispy is flavor. All right. So don't let grease get on my phone there. This one. That's why I got a spatula here. Didn't want to release. It should be ready because it's on the hottest spot. Alright. You see how nice and crispy that skin looks? Alright. Now, another thing we're going to do is, I don't know if I mentioned that we're going to use chicken stock. I'm sure I did because I mentioned that we were going to put some saffron in it. So, we got a bowl here. Okay. If you have shrimp, anything that has a crustacean on it, you could actually throw it in there. the crustacean, the skin or whatever it's called, and it'll flavor the stock. So it'll make it into a chicken slash fish stock. Okay, you can make your own. It's very easy. Cooking is simple, folks. You just got to look at what you're doing. Like for example, I looked at the pan. I saw one side have a little more oil than the other. So what do? I just move the pan. See, I move the pan. I'm gonna throw some of the garlic in there. This is 16th century Ming China Dynasty. Some Chinaware my brother has. He collects that stuff. He likes that stuff. So I'm gonna throw a few sprigs of garlic in there. So flavor, that's the flavor of the oil. Maybe a sprig of thyme. Rosemary, I'm sorry. Thanks for correcting me, cameraman. So if you have time, you can put it in there also. You can smell the rosemary already, and what it does is it's going to flavor your oil. You see that? You can use this as a little basting brush. You see? You know, I should have put in this before I put in the chicken. I remembered after. You know, we're cooking live. This isn't a show that's been pre-recorded and we've had, you know, time to think about this stuff. I'm doing this on a whim, you know? So, that smells so delicious. When you make this dish, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. And you see I move the pan around so that flavored oil is going to flavor the chicken. Put that in there, close the lid. This is simmering. And it's getting flavored. Look at here, cameraman, look at that. See, it's starting to change colors because of that very expensive spice called saffron. You know, look at that. Okay. So what are we gonna do next? Once the chicken is cooked, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna throw in the chorizo. I'm gonna let it cook for about 2 minutes because it cooks pretty quick. Then I'm gonna take it out. If it's got any excess grease, I'm gonna take that out also. Then I'm gonna put in the onions, maybe a little more garlic, diced tomato, and then I'm gonna put in the rice, and then I'm gonna put in some mince. Look, I almost broke my brother's very expensive 16th century Ming China bowl.
Be careful with that.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get you a replica on that. Original, authentic replica.
Yeah, gee, thanks.
All right, bro. Folks, so we'll come back. Very important, a little wine also. When I'm cooking the chicken, you know what? I should do that right now. I'm going to throw in a little wine. Let me use this bowl. What does that do? That gives it a little flavor also. Not too much because the rest is for the cook and the cameraman and the people coming in to
guests.
The guests. See what I'm doing there? Well, 5 more minutes. I'll take it out. I'll add the chorizo. We're gonna go for a cut. All right, folks. So what I just did was I took out the chicken. Here it is. Look how crispy and nice it is. And that wine I had put, it made a sauce, so I ladled it there with the legs. we're gonna use some of that sauce when we put in the rice, okay? So remember that. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna put in the sausage, the chorizo, Spanish sausage. Gonna move it around. That doesn't take too long to cook. All right, look at the inside the pan. See? Oh, I had lowered the heat because you have to be careful with the heat. Remember, we're not using an oven. We're using a barbecue grill as an oven. So what I want to see at this point is, how much of that fat or grease is gonna release, because that's gonna tell me if I have to take some out or not. Okay, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna get a rag so I could move the pan a little. Look at this, 500 degrees on the thermostat. But see, that's why you want to play with the knobs, because you don't want to overcook that rice. You went through all this trouble to make this paella, and you don't want to mess up the paella. You don't want to burn the rice. So right now, let me see how much. No, it looks fine. Okay, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the onion. Saute the onion. Boom, right there. I'm going to put in some olive oil because it looks like it does need a little olive oil. I recommend this brand of olive oil, by the way. It's very good. Okay.
They don't pay you to say that.
Yeah, they don't pay me to say that, but hey, one day you never know. They might say, "Hey, man, this guy is a good cook. He's making good with that olive oil that we have." It's from California, by the way. Two things I really love about California. I've never been there. I want to go there, but they have very good olive oil. And I'm going to tell you, they make the best wines in the world. Sorry, my French friends, but California just, God blessed us, you know? He blessed us with a lot of good stuff. Kind of makes you feel like, wow, we're living in the promised land. Thank the Lord, you know? Always be grateful to God, because you know, a lot of people out there don't have a lot of things that we may have. All right, so this looks like it's cooked. We're gonna check it for how much oil it's got. I don't want it to be too greasy. So after that, when we come back, I'm gonna add the rice. I'm gonna add the mussels, the shrimp, and the calamari. All right, and my secret ingredient here, right here. Okay, minced clams. Oh, that's gold. And I'm gonna ladle in that stock right there.
That's saffron.
Here, let me show you something real quick. You know what? You see that grease? That's too much grease for me. I'm going to take some of that out. That's what I was talking about. So I'm going to take that out. When we come back, you're going to see me putting in the rice and the other stuff. That's a cut. All right. So I took out the chorizo. I didn't want to get burned. Those onions, look at the onions in the pan. You see? Now I'm going to add the tomato. And I'm going to saute that. Because now we're going to add the rice. And that rice is going to get all that good flavor. See, that's minced tomato. Look at that. Beautiful. Those tomatoes smell really good. Remember, in the pan, you have the flavor of the chicken. Because they made a little gravy of the chorizo, onions, garlic, the rosemary. All right. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you right now. Time to add the rice. So, you're gonna add the rice like that. It's a big pan, so we got 2 kits of rice. And like this, like in a cross, you know, crisscross. So now we're going to, here it is. See, we're flavoring that rice a little more. That rice is going to have a lot of flavor, but we're flavoring it a little more. And we're going to, see, mixing in the rice, the tomatoes. See that? You see how it's gotten its color? And I still haven't put this packet in. Okay. Now we're going to lay over the broth. See, look what I was telling you about that chorizo. When I took it out, it had all that grease, which I don't want it in my paella. It's too much grease. So we're going to start ladling in the broth. Remember, it's got that saffron. Oh, yeah. See that? A little more. Get that saffron in there. What makes a paella are 2 things: the pan and the saffron. That makes it an authentic paella. You could add rabbit, you could add chicken, you could add vegetables. But see, you're laying all of that stuff in. Look how it's boiling over there a little. Look at that. See that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all that broth in. But I want to add this stuff right here. That's flavorful. That is. I'm going to tell you something. This makes your paella. It's got seafood. It's got all that delicious stuff in there.
And that came with the kit.
Yeah, that came with the kit. Now I'm going to add my minced. First the juice. See, look how many layers of flavor we're adding onto this thing. So it's not gonna taste like an arroz con pollo. It's not gonna taste like an arroz con pollo. It's going to taste like a paella. You know? It's not gonna taste like an arroz con pollo. It's gonna taste like a paella, like what it's supposed to be. A seafood dish. See that? Look at that. See that? I wish I could smell this.
Smells good.
It smells delicious. See that? And now we're going to add the chicken back in there. All right. I'm gonna add the chicken in there. Maybe this little piece of garlic in the middle. Add the chicken. There we go. Some of the juices. That's some good stuff. Remember the legs? Throw in some of the chorizo. you can go to any Spanish restaurant in Spain, in Miami, wherever you want. They're not gonna make you a better paella than this one. My brother went to Spain,
I did.
to Madrid, thinking that he can find a better paella. Poor kid was disappointed because those paellas were horrible.
Not as good as this one, that's for sure.
Never as good. All right, you see that? Now we ladle that in there. Look at that. Now we're gonna ladle in the juice of the wine, the chicken,
The garlic.
Look at that. I'll ladle in that garlic. Look at that garlic. All right. Look at that garlic right there, the juice. And we're gonna put in some more of the stock. Oh, you know what? I almost sinned, folks. I got so carried away, I forgot about the mussels and the shrimp. I'm telling you, look at that. These were frozen mushrooms, so mussels, so they're already open, but they're still good. Buy fresh, don't buy the frozen ones. I don't recommend it because it's harder to clean, you know. The beard, they have a beard that you have to clean out. So use the fresh ones better. The ones that weren't frozen. These are fresh because they're flash frozen, but it's better to use the ones that were never frozen. Okay, look at this. Zoom in on that plate. Look at that. This one, let's put it in there, see if it opens up. So what this is going to do is going to also flavor the dish. Very, very flavorful. And then we're going to add the shrimp. Look at that. I got so carried away, I almost forgot the mussels.
It's an ingredient.
You know, it's a key ingredient, yeah. But you know what? We are cooking live. We don't have a script. We don't need a damn script. The script flew over there somewhere. You know, it was a one-page script and it flew over there. So who cares about the script? We're cooking live, all right? So now we're gonna add the shrimp and the squid. Chop the squid. Right there, you see. Add it on top. That's gonna give it a beautiful look and a beautiful taste. Look at that pie. You know, you could add also lobster on there if you wanted to. Lobster tail. Yeah, you could add fish too, but I don't like it with fish too much because the fish kind of disappears away and it gets lost. So I like to look at what I'm eating, and I think this is better. Okay, now we're gonna add the shrimp. By the way, I season everything before throwing it in, because if you don't salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, because what happens is if you don't season your stuff, you're gonna get a piece of shrimp. It's gonna be too bland, and you don't want that. You want you want flavor in every bite. I'm gonna tell you that paella is gonna come out delish. It's gonna be better than anything you can buy out there. So the last step is putting some aluminum foil. You let it cook the rice for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe. And basically that's it, you're done. See how simple that was? Look at this, ladle a little more of this juice on top. It's hot, by the way. There. Okay, so we're gonna aluminum foil this. We're gonna adjust the heat because we don't want it to burn. What I want to achieve is something called socarat. What is socarat? Socarat is the little burnt at the bottom, not overly burnt, by the way, but you know where the taste has been aged and developed through the cooking method. So I'm just going to move this a little more, put some aluminum foil, and we are going to come back once it's done. Okay, remember, I'm going to aluminum foil it, cook it 20 more minutes, and that should be, I'm going to check it for doneness, all right? Thank you. Oh, there you are. It looks like it's time to eat. Yep, according to my watch it is. Let me show you what our paella looks like. Oh, by the way, remember the 16th century Ming Dynasty bowl? Well, the finishing touch is the parsley. So, look at hither. That's the final touch. I got guests coming over, of course. I'm not gonna eat the whole paella by myself. And notice I decorated it with lemon because lemon gives it a special touch, okay? So remember, it's easy to make. Make it for your friends and family. Eat good. Drink some good wine. Notice my, get a good book. Educate yourselves. And when you need real estate, remember to call me, George Cabezas, your friendly neighborhood realtor. I'm going to leave my information on the description. I'm going to take a few more pictures and just let me know, all right? I do listings. I work with buyers, leasing, commercial, residential, land. So give me a call and enjoy. I hope you make it. I hope you make this dish. Thank you very much for watching.